Now on to probably the biggest news of February. For one, the MCU Fantastic Four has finally been cast. The rumors and reports can finally, at long last, after so many annoying reports and just being generally annoyed, it can stop. Pedro Pascal will play Mr. Fantastic. Vanessa Kirby will play the Invisible Woman. Joseph Quinn will play the Human Torch, and Eben Moss Backrack will play the Thing. And judging by the promo we got on Valentine's Day, which that was quite the gift for Valentine's Day for us MCU fans. It looks like it'll be set in the 60s, or it will start in the 60s and end in present day, which is a pretty popular theory affiliated with the MCU Fantastic Four of they'll start in the 60s, and then by the end of the movie, they will wind up in present day, and then thus be a part of the main MCU. I'm pretty okay with most of the casting. Maybe Pedro Pascal I'm a bit hesitant on, but I'm going to save my judgment until I see some actual footage, because, guys, think about all the castings that we've been hesitant about, like Heath Ledger's Joker, and then once we see it, we're like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. And, I don't know, Joseph Quinn, I'm not really too familiar with him, but like I said, I'm going to save judgment for when I see footage. Probably the only many big castings left for the movie are Herbie, which, by the way, Bill Hader for Herbie, and the villain, and so far it sounds like Galactus is going to be the villain of the film, because he has been a pretty prevalent rumor throughout the current months of it's been reported he will be the villain of the film, and he'll be played by Javier Bardem, which I can get behind. But also, we could see Doctor Doom at the end of the movie. Now, originally I wasn't big on the idea of Galactus being the main villain of the first MCU Fantastic Four film, because it doesn't feel right. Like he's not a first movie villain kind of guy. A few years ago, I posted a sort of, my vision of a MCU Fantastic Four trilogy set in the 60s that would end in them coming the present day, where after those three films, they can maybe get one more film in the present day, then just be kind of in the background. And the villains of each film would be sort of a progression. So in the first movie, we would have the Frightful Four. And then in the second movie, it would be the Molecule Man. And then in the third and final film of the, first MCU F4 trilogy in the 60s, it would be Annihilus. And that would end with them being trapped in the negative zone by Doctor Doom. And of course, cut to present day, where they will be found and then brought back into, the current century. Or the current day. And I liked it originally, but of course, as I was thinking about it, as I was writing the script for this video, I was looking back at it, and I'm like, I like what I was going for, but I feel like I just kind of wasted Doctor Doom, because my thought was save him for like an Avengers level threat. Make him the villain of an Avengers movie, but then it'd be kind of weird that the Fantastic Four had never fought Doctor Doom prior to an Avengers movie, which I just don't think that would sit well with a lot of people, so, yeah. But going back to Galactus, like I said, I wasn't really for it, but then I sat down and I thought about it, and him being the villain of this movie, it could work. And I know this was sort of a long transition or whatever to this point, but just go with me here. Yes, he's a pretty big threat for a first MCU Fantastic Four film, but I think he could serve a purpose of getting them to the present day. Here's my theory about how this movie could end. So they fight Galactus, and the only way to stop him is to trap him in the negative zone, but the only way to do that is also trap themselves in the negative zone. So they do just that. They trap both themselves and Galactus in the negative zone, and they cut to present day, where Sword starts getting some weird readings, and then bing, bang, boom, they find the Fantastic Four. We can even get something from Nick Fury about him saying about to drop the F-bomb when the film ends, and then maybe in another Fantastic Four film, or maybe in another MCU film when they bring the Fantastic Four, Nick Fury could explain that S.H.I.E.L.D. sort of swept them under the rug after their disappearance, which, how cool would it be if we saw like Peggy Carter in the Fantastic Four film? I think that'd be pretty cool. I guess my only plot hole would be, what happens to Herbie? Like maybe Herbie stays behind, and then they come across Herbie, and he's like, oh yeah, I have friends in the negative zone, and then that's how they get them out. Or I guess the question could be, can the negative zone even hold Galactus? I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four expert. I do want to get into the comics, but I haven't really read a lot of them lately, so I only know like basic stuff, the two movies, or I guess three movies, but we don't talk about the third one, and the 90s cartoon, which I have the box set of. So yeah, it might be on my to-do list this year to read some Fantastic Four comics. But of course, there's also the if this movie is set in the 60s on Earth 616, because there's a rumor or theory that this could be set in a different universe, which might make more sense with the Doctor Doom rumor kind of going down a bit of a rabbit hole here. I mean, if it's set in the 60s on Earth 616 and the movie ends with the Four going to the negative zone but Doctor Doom remains, he'd be kind of old by the time they get out. Well, too old to fight. Well, maybe he uses magic to stay young. Who knows? I'm really curious to see how this movie is going to work out.